swoops on the crown and massive basket.
3. You are kidding me.
And the fire burned brightest. Townsville are WNBL champions for the 4th time.
The Cygnett WNBL final round of our dreams continues tonight with Southside taking on Adelaide at Parkville with the minor premiership on the line. The Flyers need to beat Adelaide if they are to claim top spot, but it won't be easy against this Lightning outfit finishing their season in fine form. Adelaide has won its last 3 and will be out to break some hearts tonight on enemy turf and end its season on a high. Jess Webster with you alongside women's basketball encyclopedia Mark Alabakov. Mark, fantastic to have you here for what is going to be a really fun contest tonight.
It's going to be an exciting one. You've got one team in Southside with big things on the horizon, and then Adelaide who just keeps punching. For Southside, the minor premiership is on the line. That'll earn them not only home court advantage for the semi-finals, but also the grand final should they qualify for that. And this is a bit of a finals dress rehearsal for them, and they're playing some great basketball led by Mercedes Russell and Beck Cole.
Absolutely. A bit of history on the line for Beck Cole tonight. She needs 12 points to be the 39th player in WNBL history to score 3,000 points. What a champion she has been alongside this woman on screen, Lauren Jackson. But of course, as we look at Adelaide, their opposition tonight, and if you ever needed evidence of Steph Talbot's influence on this side and on the WNBL in general, you only need to look at her last couple of weeks.
Well, this Steph Talbot version of the Adelaide Lightning is their best version. They've won their past 2 games with her. It adds another WNBA player to their lineup, and I mean, such is their depth. They started Lauren Mansfield and Steph Talbot on the bench in the last fixture against the Melbourne Boomers, but Talbot delivers you 12.5 points, 10 rebounds, 2.5 assists. But no one has benefited more with having her in the lineup than Brianna Turner, who's gone from an 8-point per game average to 16 and 17 in the 2 games they've played with Steph.
Certainly plenty to look forward to tonight, and this is the live ladder as it stands after Melbourne beat the Capitals by a point earlier today to lift themselves into 3rd spot. But we're going to concentrate on Southside, top of the ladder against Adelaide. Southside, as we mentioned, simply need to win to get the minor premiership. What a final round it's been, Mark.
There's so many storylines. I think if we zoom in on that top 2, so with Southside's win over the Fire midweek, that earned them the split, meaning if the 2 teams finish on the same wins and losses, Southside will go to the top of the ladder and win that minor premiership, get home court advantage for the semi and grand final should they qualify. But you know, if they can get the win tonight against the Adelaide Lightning, then tomorrow's fixture between Townsville and Sydney has no bearing. It means that the Flyers have locked up top spot.
And of course, we've got Bendigo and Perth to come later tonight. So much to look forward to. So take a look at the Flyers starting 5. They're in great form, won 4 out of their last 5 and really are hitting their momentum at the right time of year.
And they'll be wanting to play hard, smart and together at the business end of the season, but they've got genuine match winners all over the floor. So Beck Cole can win you a match on her own, as can Mercedes Russell. Lauren Jackson has gotten hot at different points throughout the Cygnett WNBL season. But then when you've got professionals, adults, great experience off the bench like your Carly Ernst, that really adds to the depth of this Flyers lineup, and it means that you can go legitimately 8 or 9 deep and have contributors come in and be able to play well for them.
And for Adelaide, they're on a 3-game winning streak, the longest winning streak of the season. And as you mentioned, they are starting Talbot and Mansfield on the bench again, but looking to finish their season on a high tonight.
They will be, and they've got nothing to lose. And you know, when we talk about the Steph Talbot influence, she only has one gear, which is relentlessly competitive, and it permeates through the rest of the roster. You see the likes of Izzy Borlays go to another level. Izzy Bourne's been great all year, but Taylor Brazel has been a revelation for them, an Adelaide product who's been able to come in, do defensive jobs, and be the proverbial 3-and-D player that we love in today's game.
So a couple of moments to go before tip-off here tonight. Of course, Southside are actually playing at Parkville for the very first time tonight with SBC closed for renovations. And if you're looking for good omens, the last time Adelaide played at Parkville, they beat Melbourne earlier this season. So know this court very well. But great to see the fans in attendance tonight for what has been such an amazing final round of the Cygnett WNBL season. Mark, before we get underway, what are you expecting tonight?
Well, I think it's going to be a closer contest than people might imagine when we look at the ladder positions between these 2 teams. For Adelaide, I mentioned last fixture, so last round against the Boomers, their last 2 games were against Melbourne and then now Southside. That acts almost like Adelaide's pseudo semi-final and grand final. So if they treat this one like a grand final type of affair, they should leave it all on the line tonight and leave nothing in the tank.
Mercedes Russell in amongst it immediately, winning it down to Jackson to get us underway. She's in incredible form, averaging 21 points and 10 rebounds in her last 3 games. Here is Bet Cole, as we mentioned, needs 12 points to reach 3,000, but we've got an early call from the ref.
Yeah, early foul on Leilani Mitchell, I believe it was, setting that flex screen, trying to get the ball inside to Mercedes Russell for an early touch. So good play design and play calling from Coach Cheryl Chambers.
It's Willoughby to take it down the floor for the Lightning. Off to Borlase, back to Willoughby. A little deflection in there from Cole, but it remains with Borlase. A little fumble. Out to Willoughby, who sets her feet for 3 to get our first points of the evening.
That's a big bucket, traditionally known as a left-handed explosive driver. If she can add that 3-point shot to her repertoire, she can be a handful to deal with.
Cole for Southside. Out to Mitchell. Long range 2, gets it done.
It'll be interesting to keep an eye on the Adelaide defense. It looked like they might have been in a 2-3 zone as an opening defensive strategy, trying to pack the painted area.
Borlase looking inside for Willoughby, working the baseline. Out to Brazel, who you mentioned is in fine form. Here's Bourne, gets a bucket.
And smart drive by Bourne, so she had the taller and perhaps slower Lauren Jackson, by comparison to her on the perimeter, closing her out. To drive her off that 3-point line is a great move.
What have you noticed about the way Adelaide are playing in the last few weeks and why they've managed to turn things around a bit?
I think it's been, it's effort-based metrics. So, with Steph Talbot in the lineup, and we keep talking about her, she's a quality player, but just the presence of an athlete like that and the mentality that they bring to their own game, I used the word before that it permeates through the group. They're far more competitive in terms of their reaction time to push the ball in transition, but then keep it alive on the offensive glass.
Borlase makes a move, can't get the finish. Adelaide looking for a strong start tonight. It's Rochi off to Jackson for 3. It's no good. Willoughby brings it in. Shares it with Brazel. Swinging it across the arc. What's Borlase going to do? Under some pressure. Brazel can't keep it alive.
So it looks like Adelaide just getting stuck as the ball changed sides and got to Izzy Borlase. The rest of the Adelaide Lightning players all were above the 3-point line and stationary, which meant their defenders could go and try to shrink the space around Borlase, who's currently a driving threat, without any penalty. I'd like to see them cut to the basket or go to screen for a teammate, try to occupy more of those Flyers defenders.
Adelaide ball. Superstar Izzy Borlase is already at such a young age. Get a look at the replay of that incident. Here's Turner, puts one up, can't get it to go. Mercedes Russell brings it down. Off to Mitchell, running down the floor, pulls up for 2. Some early points for her.
And she's as good as anybody in that mid-range. She just does such a wonderful job of getting her balance. So whether it's off a 1-2 step or a jump stop, she gets her body under control and can make those jump shots at will.
Mitchell again is feeling it early.
Absolutely, and you can't give her separation. Anytime that you step off, because she's a dribble penetration threat who'll get into the paint, draw another defender and give the ball to a teammate, and you try to sit off her, she can pull up over the top as she has.
Borlase now to Willoughby, wide open for the 3. It's offline, but we'll get it back. Well done by Bourne. Southside with the defense. They're up by 1 early stages. First quarter here at Parkville. Minor premiership on the line. Roch into the corner for Jackson. We'll get it back. Now off to Mitchell. They're swinging it across to Bet Cole. Willoughby with the pressure. Cole trying to find an opening, has coughed it up. Chance for Willoughby down the other end. Bolas, no good.
And smart for the veteran here, Leilani Mitchell, to just pull up stumps, get a patterned offense, get 5 people working as one, and everyone back on the same page for the Flyers.
Here's Russell. He's also offline, so a couple of chances going begging for both teams early. That's a wonderful pass from Willoughby to Bourne.
Absolutely, and then just had the tiniest little window to split the 2 defenders with the pass. You know, often we say when we coach players, if you see a passing window, it's a window that opens and is shutting immediately. So can you catch it and throw it on a half beat? Throw it quicker than all of the other actions, on a half beat, quicker than the last dribble that you took, for instance. You're always trying to maximize as much time and space for the intended recipient of that pass.
Bourne at the line, 0 from 2, 51% at the line this season. So some opportunities there. Close start to this contest. Mitchell over the top for Russell, off the glass.
Beautiful play, and the ball didn't stop that whole possession. So you had a re-screen from Mercedes Russell, and then with the switch by the 2 defenders, all Leilani Mitchell had to do was lob it over the top.
Talbot into the action and making an immediate impact.
This is the scary thing if you're the Southside Flyers, is the Lightning have nothing to lose. They can pour everything and the kitchen sink at you.
And Ernst says, whatever you can do, I can do just as good. Responds with a big 3 down the other end. And the points are starting to float. 4.5 to go in this opening quarter as Turner trying to get in on the action. Be a Southside ball.
Now, quite often, the Adelaide offense has Brianna Turner somewhere on the elbow free throw line or above, sometimes on the perimeter. And you often see a counter to that movement, so having a big player involved in a lot of screening actions and being a facilitator. Mercedes Russell is stepping off her, so Mercedes Russell isn't guarding Brianna Turner unless she comes into the keyway area. So she stays in the key as a shot blocker and a free zoning type defender.
Rochi from the top of the arc is offline. Talbot with the rebound, off to Turner, great team play.
We talked about earlier how there's been nobody that's been a bigger recipient of the value of Talbot being in this lineup than Brianna Turner. Great example of it there.
Jasmine Dickey into the court for Southside, has coughed it up. It'll be Adelaide ball. Flies up by a point. Good contested game so far. Mansfield also onto the floor for the Lightning. On the 3-game winning streak, their longest of the season.
Now look at Carly Ernst staying in the keyway and only guarding Brianna Turner when she comes into the key, but Turner up to the task, cutting to the basket as soon as Carly Ernst was engaged in trying to defend another action. So that's a risk when you deploy that type of defense. You've always got to have the person that you're guarding as a matchup within vision so you can guard them when they come within the key.
Russell puts a shot up and gets it done. As we've touched on, in fine form, averaging 21 points, 10 rebounds in her last 3 games.
She does a little bit of everything for the Southside Flyers, but we know that their value as a team is the amount of scorers that they have. Their real linchpin on the defensive end is wholly Mercedes Russell. She holds it together. She's a shot blocker, shot changer for them.
Here's Poch working the baseline. Travel.
Just shuffled her feet, unfortunately, trying to gather her balance to finish at the basket. It's an excellent decision. She drives, gets her shoulder into Borlase' chest. We call that a shoulder-to-chest advantage, where you can hold contact, continue to drive to the rim. Just came a little unstuck with her footwork, getting up into the layup.
Borlase off to Turner. They're really clicking. Adelaide.
I like that for Borlase. That's the next stage for her as an athlete. We know she can score. I think the two things that are going to be the bridge to the next level for her in her game is the three-point shooting, and can she make other teammates better? Can she use her gravity as a scorer to get other people easy baskets, while still trying to be a threat the entire time?
Adelaide with a slim 1-point lead, 2 minutes to go, opening quarter. Mansfield working on Russell, out to Bourne, sets her feet for three, it's offline. And Dickey wins it for Southside. Looking for support, Rochi goes inside to Ernst, gets it back. Ernst for three, can't get it to go. Turner with a rebound, and one in the competition for rebounds.
Foul called on that play, but keep a particular eye out on the possession play or the relentless pursuit of the basketball after it's been shot if the shot missed for the Adelaide Lightning. So I mentioned off the top that the influence that Steph Talbot's presence and her tenacity at going after the ball, others follow suit.
Here is Talbot. It's a little slip, but gets the shot up, it's offline. Ernst to Poch. Lightning by point, looking inside to Russell, but Turner stands in the way. Goes herself at the other end, it comes up short. Mitchell just holding things up. Cross to Ernst. And now Dickey. Oh, she's lost it, but good enough to get it back in the end to keep it alive for the Flyers. To Ernst, now to Poch. Looking inside, Ernst doesn't have the finish. Adelaide come up with it. Fast transition down the other end. Talbot for three. Can't get it to go. And that's going to be off Southside, so it'll be an Adelaide ball.
But that should have been a wide open Flyers rebound. But why wasn't it? Because you had the smallest player on the court, or second smallest, 1 and 1A with Leilani Mitchell, Laura Mansfield, going after the offensive glass, kept the ball alive just by getting a fingertip to it, and then inevitably it came off the Flyers out of bounds.
Turner to Willoughby, draws the contact.
So all of this stuff impacts when you've got 5 players, or at least 4 of them, looking to go and get extra possessions. And this is just a work rate thing. This has nothing to do with your individual level of experience within the competition. You could be a first game player, but if you can play hard for possession play and then run the floor in transition, you can be of value in any competition.
81% free throw shooter so far this season for Jocelyn Willoughby. So averaging 12.8 points per game, 5.5 rebounds. The Lightning are up by 2 with 30 seconds left in this first quarter at Parkville. Mitchell goes for a triple. Can't get it to go. Talbot hands to it. And how will the refs see this? Looks like it'll be an Adelaide ball.
I believe the foul called on Lauren Jackson, just trying to clear some space here. And in clearing space, she cleared Bourne with her. The referee was right in vision of that one.
From heading down the other end, where Steph Talbot, as we've mentioned, since coming back from injury, has played such a wonderful role for this Adelaide side. Two from 2, and this is a great start for Adelaide. Up by 4. I think nothing less than a 4-quarter performance will get the job done for them tonight against this Southside team, hoping to finish on top of the ladder. Jackson sets herself, comes up short. Willoughby tussles for it. And that'll do us. Quarter time at Parkville, an entertaining start to this contest. It is the Adelaide Lightning 17 leading the Southside Flyers 13. We're going to take a short break and be back with the second quarter soon.
I shoot like a girl.
Jane Melbourne. Late shot on the buzzer is good. Sammy Whitcomb.
I block like a girl.
And the block came from George. Sharp over the top with a denial.
I rebound like a girl.
Hillman again on the O glass.
That rattles out.
There's Mailey the two. Average 20 points a game.
I move like a girl.
Kayla George fires back.
And that's what makes us great.
Use that momentum and power you've created to explode out on your first dribble. Okay, we've got 2 more. 1.
Sometimes as women, we look for perfection as opposed to execution.
The work ethic is important when the players are 40 years younger than you.
Cheers.
With the finality of it being the last game of the regular season and their season's campaign, and that can be disarming of any pressure. They've got 7 points off turnovers, 2 points off fast breaks, and 9 points out of their score has just been sheer effort based, and they're trying to get the ball into the painted area. You've got 8 points in the paint for them off 6 assists, so multiple people being scorers. For Southside, I feel like they're going too perimeter focused. They've only got the 2 points in the paint, 0 free throws so far, and they've got some beautiful targets to throw to in the paint. The likes of Mercedes Russell and Lauren Jackson, and then people who can dribble penetrate. So I'd like to see them play through that keyway a little bit more.
Here is Talbot from the corner to get us underway in the second quarter. Willoughby straight into the hands of Cole. And off to Mitchell. Scored 6 points in that opening quarter. Off to Poch. And now Jackson. Sharing it around, Mitchell. Now Russell. Had 6 rebounds in that opening quarter as well. Back to Mitchell. Now looking inside to Russell. Gets a second opportunity, but has coughed it up. But it'll be out of play, so Southside will get another opportunity.
Now that's a great play and a beautiful lob there by Leilani Mitchell to the rolling to the basket, Mercedes Russell. But Russell falls accustomed to some of the problems that we find with taller athletes. Anytime they rebound the basketball and bring it below the line of their shoulders, smaller guards can come in and get a hand in or both and grab the basketball. If Mercedes catches the ball high and keeps it high, she probably has a putback with no arms around her.
Turner with the rebound to Talbot. Take it down the other end. Turner to Willoughby. And now Bourne. Borlase wants an option. Shot clock ticking down. They've coughed it up. Good defense from Southside. Still working their way into this one, you feel, the Flyers. Here's Mitchell. Looking for Jackson. Taps it back to Poch. Sets her feet for 3. It's no good. Talbot for Borlase. To Turner. Back to Borlase.
Now look at Mercedes Russell. So she's matched up to Turner. Doesn't leave the keyway. So until Turner goes to the paint, she's just hanging in there ready to blow up any of Isabel Borlase's dribble penetrations or anyone else for that matter. So counter to that, anytime that you can cut Turner to the basket, or if she gets involved in any screen and roll actions, or pick and roll actions rather, she's got to roll all the way to the basket to force Mercedes Russell to play her and then not have advantage just waiting for any dribble penetration from whichever Lightning guard it is that has the basketball. So it's an advantage Flyers until Turner can go to that keyway.
6 points in the opening quarter for Turner. Willoughby as well with 4, Talbot with 5. They're leading scorers. So Lightning with possession. Turner inbounds to Mansfield. We'll get it back, and now Willoughby. For Mansfield again. To Turner. And gets the 2.
That's a good turnaround jump shot from her. If she can hit that in and around that key line area, that's going to force the Flyers' hand, or Mercedes Russell's hand, to come and have to defend her a whole lot tighter on that perimeter. And she's quite a dynamic driver too. If she can take one bounce, she can get all the way to the rim.
Willoughby into Kohler, puts her body on the line, and Mitchell gets a deflection in there. There'll be a Southside ball. A bit happening in that last passage of play.
Well, we'd say she ate too much popcorn for breakfast and had Butterfingers.
Mercedes Russell off to Mitchell. Driving, working away inside, and gets the contact, is off to the line.
Yeah, and I talk about the value that Leilani Mitchell brings to your lineup as a game manager. So noticing that there's been a little stall in the offense, takes the ball all the way into the rack, draws the contact, hits the floor, gets herself onto the free throw stripe, earns 2 shots now with no defense on her. She's typically a tremendous free throw shooter. Safe as houses, they say.
86% at the line this season. And Mark, what have you done?
It's the commentator's curse. All compliments are banned now.
Doesn't often miss 2 in a row. There we go. A 5-point lead to Adelaide. Willoughby to Mansfield.
Defensive change up by the Flyers. So out of that free throw, they're in a 2-3 zone.
Willoughby for bola, he's in the corner. Can't make it count. Mitchell. It's coupled a beat, and again gets the contact. Smart from Leilani Mitchell.
You hit the nail on the head. It's exactly that. She's smart enough to go, when she's looking to draw contact over the taller player, she gets into that player's armpit. So anytime that she does that, she's able to draw contact. She's got airspace for the ball to be able to go up and have a chance to go in. So you're not just crashing into the defender and then not getting a shot up. So there's always a potential for a 3-point play the old-fashioned way.
Two from 2 on this occasion for Mitchell. Margins back to 3.
She's now tied for the leading scorer in the game.
Bourne for Adelaide. Can't get it to go. Southside take it down their end. There's Rochi. Looking for Russell. Back to Rochi. Cole swinging it across to Mitchell. Now driving and making a move. Can't get it to go. Turner to Bourne to Willoughby to finish off. Gets the contact.
It's a beautiful transition. So in 5 seconds, they went from defensive stop to the other tip of the rim, had a shot up on the glass. So with a kick-ahead pass like that, anytime you can pass the basketball, the ball is the fastest thing or person on the floor. Nothing moves faster than the ball flying up ahead if you can throw it ahead of you.
We're heading to a timeout here with just over 6 minutes to go in the second quarter, and this timeout is brought to you by Cygnett, Australia's #1 digital accessories brand. Cygnett continues to power the WNBL, Australian owned and designed. Cygnett is available at JB Hi-Fi, Officeworks and other leading retailers. Visit cygnett.com today. So interesting stage of this match, a bit of a slow start. It was closer in the first quarter. Adelaide just had their noses in front all game, leading by 3 at the moment. The Flyers, you feel those still have a few gears to go?
They do, and the interesting thing that I've just noticed watching this quarter alone, the Lightning run, at the moment the ball changes possessions, they run wide and deep down the floor and ahead of their matchup, so they've always got targets to throw to, and they're looking to kick the ball ahead. To the contrary, watch when the Flyers come up with possession, there's usually either a Beck Cole or there's a Leilani Mitchell looking to push the action to get the same types of reaction time advantages and easy scores, but there's no one to throw to. All of the Flyers players are back behind the line of the ball handler or level with the ball handler, so inevitably that person pushes the ball and has to stop, and then all of the defenders from Adelaide are back and set, and then inevitably you get into what's called a drag pick and roll. The trailing Mercedes Russell will come and set a screen on the ball carrier, but all of the defenders are in front, so there's no space to do anything. And to me, that's why the Flyers only have the 16 points on the board. For such a talented offensive team, right now, to me, the only way that they're scoring in terms of a stream of offense is half-court execution, and it's hard to rely on just the one thing.
Back out to a 5-point advantage. The Lightning. I mentioned they've won their last 3 against some good opposition too. Wins over Melbourne and Townsville. A win over the Capitals in between that 3-game run. This will be another big scalp to Adelaide's name if they can get the job done tonight. Turner.
Massive, and great pass there to hit the rolling to the basket. Turner, she's got a great set of hands, and if she can athletically turn and roll to the basket, you can put the ball anywhere in the vicinity of the bottom corner of the backboard, and she's going to go and get it and drop it in.
Hurts from long range, can't get it to go, but good rebound from Cole and the finish.
I like that, and Beck Cole is another big match player, but that's another stream of offense, right? Going to the offensive glass, cleaning it up, and then any missed shot you can treat as a pass to you. You've got a layup on the end of it. 2
points, her first of the night. And at the verge of 3,000 points is Beck Cole, as Turner adding more to her name. She's up to 12 now, including 6 rebounds as well. Really putting in a performance early.
And that's in a quarter and a half of basketball. So her mentality has changed completely from, I've been calling for it throughout the course of the season in the game previews that I write for the WNBL website, that she can be more of a scoring threat and a part of the offense at the basket for the Adelaide Lightning, averaging only the 8 points per game, where the last time we saw her in the league, she averaged 17 and was second in MVP voting.
Another timeout, 5 and a bit minutes to go in this second quarter. This timeout is brought to you by CTM Sport. CTM Sport is here to transform your team's travel experience. Leave the hustle of off-court arrangements to CTM Sport, the experts in sports travel management. Get the winning edge at ctmsport.com.au. So the Lightning extending their lead out to 7 points. As we mentioned, if Southside lose tonight, they'll have to rely on Townsville losing tomorrow to win the minor premiership, but if they win, they've got it. So a big game for them tonight, not only to win the minor premiership, but just taking that momentum into finals. We know winning form is good form at this time of the year, Mark.
Absolutely it is, and out of this time out here, you're probably looking for Coach Cheryl Chambers to change something on the defensive end. Often in these sorts of circumstances, having worked with her extensively as her assistant coach over the years, she may come out in a 2-3 zone here and stay within that defensive format for the rest of this quarter, just to give Adelaide a different look, upset their rhythm, and try and rest her bodies to make a big second half push.
And that certainly helps things. Beck Cole getting in on the action with a big 3.
An unsung hero. I don't think Beck Cole gets enough praise for the value that she brings to, the WNBL, but certainly this team. We talk about how much talent they have on their roster, and we talk about how there's a perception that Mercedes Russell not being in the top 5 nominees for MVP voting is an omission, and she's certainly a tremendous player, but Beck Cole is as valuable to the Flyers as Mercedes Russell is. They help in different ways, but their gravity for this lineup, I think, is the same.
Bourne finding herself at the line.
Just goes about her business and is no fuss, and so efficient, generally speaking, Izzy Bourne. I think that she's been an under-the-radar star of this league in the making. She's been really important to the Lightning lineup now, albeit they've finished essentially second last on the ladder, but they haven't had their linchpin, Steph Talbot, in the lineup for 80% of the year or more. So with a full contingent, I think that Bourne would go to another level as well.
Cole for 2, gets the finish. Izzy Bourne, of course, just 23 years of age, averaging the 13.5 points so far this season. Right, young talent. Here she is on cue, working on Ernst. Can't get the finish. Mitchell off to Rochi. 3 points the margin, less than 4 to go in this first half. Things just tightening up a little bit here. Mitchell to Cole. Gets more points. She's on a roll in this second quarter.
She absolutely is. And there's her and there's Ali Wilson, who in my mind are the two, I call them purple patch players. They're players who can come out and have 10 or more points in a quarter and just break your heart.
Talbot working on Cole, draws the contact. Cole has scored 9 points in about a minute and a half, I think.
And she works so hard. Like, she's just a tremendous work ethic player that is also skilled, but her preparation to be able to have this fifth gear to go to for portions of the game, she's a consummate professional. She's on the floor just about every day working individual sessions. She looks after her body. She's in the gym, bulletproofing her body for the contact and the relentless pounding up and down the floor that she does. Takes after, or looks after rather, her recovery, and is diligent on that side of the thing. So she's always refilling the cup so that she can pour from a full cup every time that she plays.
Steph Talbot, 4 from 4 at the line tonight to those couple of free throws. Dan Adelaide just keeping that slight advantage on the scoreboard. And some contact. Get a look on the replay.
So Bola is trying to chase over the top of that screen. Anytime that you're chasing a guard, it's always safer to chase the furthest shoulder that they have as they're coming over the top of that screen. That ensures that you don't get screened yourself, and then you're not going to be baited into making contact with the ball handler. And you're relying upon the people who are in front of the ball handler to try and stunt towards the ball, stall that ball handler to give you time to get back in front.
Dickey comes up short. Another rebound to Turner to Bola. He's had a little too much on it for Talbot.
But would we be surprised if Talbot leapt up and dunked that and it was an alley-oop play? I absolutely would not be surprised.
Actually, a bit of a wry smile on her face too. That's what you're noticing about this Adelaide team is they are playing with a bit of freedom in the last few weeks. Nothing to lose mentality. A lot on the line for Southside as Rochi makes a move. She also misses. Two and a half to play in the second quarter. Adelaide up by 3. Bourne has coughed it up. Mitchell takes it down the other end for Rochi. She's also turned it over, straight into the hands of Bourlays. Here's Turner having an impact tonight. Under pressure. A couple of players go to ground and the foul's been called.
It's a little bit fumbly from both teams going to the basket. No one had a clean grip on the basketball, so it's hotly contested at both ends. But I think an example, when we went back the other way with the Southside Flyers, is Leilani comes up with that steal, looks to push the basketball, and there's nobody ahead. So she keeps her dribble alive. There's still no targets to throw the ball ahead, but there's 2 Lightning defenders, and it wasn't until Rochi caught up and was just past level that there was a target to throw to. So there's some opportunities in transition here for the Flyers. They need to just get out ahead of the person carrying the basketball, not run behind or level with them, because that doesn't create an advantage.
There's Mitchell calling the shots. Now Ernst and Rochi looking inside. It's a great pass and the finish too.
Nice play. So you engage the smallest player on the floor, Leilani Mitchell, in 2 screening actions for 2 post players. You bring Mercedes Russell to the ball, then you get the back screen for Ernst. Often case, a smaller point guard gets away with a little bit more contact on those screening affairs. So great play design by Cheryl Chambers.
Southside win possession here. Talbot heads to the bench for a rest.
Looks like they've taken time out.
Yeah, everyone's heading to the bench for a rest. It is going to be a timeout. Needed the wide shot for that one, but timeout again called. We've had a few of those in this quarter, and this timeout is brought to you by Ford Aussie Hoops, the perfect introduction to the world of basketball for kids aged 5 to 10 years. Visit aussiehoops.basketball to register. In the Southside camp at the moment, Mark, do you think they'll be pleased with how they're going, or still need a bit to work on?
Well, I think yes and no. I think the margin is the point at the moment, but it's been off the back of a hot streak from Bet Cole. So I think they're still trying to find their rhythm, the Flyers, with filling up all of those streams of offense. So from an offensive rebounding standpoint, they've got the 4 so far. I believe nearly all of them have come from this quarter alone, but there's not a lot in transition that they're able to create. Just easy baskets that lessen the pressure and start to open margins up. And for the Lightning, Coach Nat Hurst would be talking about the fact that you've got the Flyers in the penalty in terms of foul trouble. So for this minute 42, if you can keep an attack mindset in all phases of the shot clock, whether that's in transition, in the half court, any action where you can move these taller Flyer players side to side or vertically and then get to the tip of the rim, wear some contact, you're going to be gifted with some free throws as well.
Cole and Mitchell up to 9 points each for Southside, and Ernst with 5 for Adelaide. Turner 12 points, 7 rebounds as well to her name. Talbot with the 7 points, Willoughby with the 6. Back underway, Southside with possession. Mitchell to Russell. Looking for Ernst, working on Bourne. That's a great finish under pressure.
And the pressure, she's able to alleviate it because she fades away, Carly Ernst, and she's so tall at 6'5" that when she raises the ball up and her release of her shot is so high, defenders can't get a hand there to bother it, and she can look over the top of your contesting hand, and it's almost like you're not there.
Flyers in front for the first time tonight. The slimmest of margins by a point.
You can look for a 2-for-1 if you're the Southside Flyers. If you execute a quick look here and you try and get yourself a shot away, you'll give Adelaide the ball back and you'll have the ball to finish the quarter.
They've turned it over here. Adelaide looking to capitalise at the other end. And they've turned it over.
So not ideal for both of these teams in that last 2 possessions. So you probably look for Leilani Mitchell to call an offense here. They'll want to script something in particular to get somebody a look.
Ernst to Mitchell. Directing traffic. Seconds tick down to half-time. Gives it to Dickey. She can't get it to go. Talbot brings it in. 10 seconds on the clock. Looks for Borlase, keeps it alive. Back to Talbot's got to go for it. And misses on a 3 attempt. And that is halftime here at Parkville. The Flyers ahead by the slimmest of margins. They lead the Lightning 29-28 after Adelaide led by 4 points at quarter time. Final round of the Cygnett WNBL competition. Mark, as we take a look at some of the halftime highlights, both sides filling each other also with 7 rebounds, and Russell with the 10 as well. She's on double-double watch as well.
Yeah, you know, and she's fantastic, both as a target and as a rebounder. So 10 rebounds is huge. The telling thing for me is that she hasn't got an offensive rebound yet. So I feel like she's using or paying more attention rather to the pace that Adelaide wants to play with back the other direction, and rather than going with the same level of zest for rebounding the ball offensively, or maybe it's even a call from Coach Cheryl Chambers, she's getting back to be able to contest stuff at the rim. The Flyers essentially with that choice, or the choice from Mercedes Russell, playing not to lose, not to give up easy baskets.
So we're evenly poised here at halftime at Parkville. Southside 29 leading Adelaide 28. Plenty more action to come in the second half. We're going to take a short break. Don't go anywhere. The second half is coming up next.
Women are powering forward and changing the game on and off the court. Together, Basketball Australia and the Australian Sports Commission are powering women in basketball. We are amplifying the voices, skills and spirit of women in the game. From the backboards to the boardrooms, we're breaking barriers, shattering stereotypes and empowering the next generation of female athletes and leaders. Get involved, and together we can create a future where every girl's hoop dreams are within reach.
Ford dealers have backed sport in communities for nearly 100 years. And now, from the Boomers and Opals to Aussie Hoops, your local Ford dealer is proud to support basketball. Because all dreams start somewhere.
Oh, this is goosebump stuff. Like lightning. Champagne Rugby League. Doesn't he love it? Oh! It's a footy fan's dream. This is special.
Last season was simply the best.
It is hard to sum up what we have seen. Wow!
In 2024, we're turning it up.
He's the fastest man on the planet.
This is where legends bring you the best games every round. We're ready to get stuck in.
Bang! What a tackle!
And turn it up.
The entertainers are back.
Live and free on 9 and 9 now.
I heard something last night. I was disgusted by it.
He said,
This is the night.
he's showing his attitude toward women.
Justice
It's not going to happen on our watch. Frankly, I'd prefer you to leave.
and retribution.
You're joking.
Fight back. The most emotion charged.
You're giggling like a little girl.
Sunday night.
She's everything that I've wanted in a partner.
You just can't
I feel like I'm losing my voice.
miss.
You're trying to control the narrative.
Sunday at 7 on 9 and 9 now.
For Poch. She's had the hot hand in the last couple of minutes. How is this girl 19 years old?
Well, growing up playing basketball, I played in the park with my 2 older brothers. It was really competitive, a really competitive family.
Out to Poch. And she drains it. 3-on-2 situation. Poch will go herself.
Coming off being a rookie is really like nerve-wracking and a bit scary, but being at the Flyers, I was really looked after and helped me get ready for like upcoming things. I went with the Opals to China. I'd never been to China before. The atmosphere was great. People around there were amazing. Getting to represent the Opals, being there and playing and like knowing the professionalism in that was really cool.
Potch on the brakes.
Yes. In the basketball side, well, it would be like Kevin Durant or Brianna Stewart, because when I look at them, they're really like long and lanky, where I kind of picture myself as well.
Here's Stewart, likes the angle. Stewart reverses it in.
Wow, like I can kind of put that into my game as well. Last year, we were nearly getting a championship, so developing my game and getting confidence into like going back there and playing, that's one of them up there. And I'm also young as well. I really don't have anything to lose, so just go out there and have fun.
Hi, I'm Sammy Whitcomb, and this is Harper.
And I'm Steph Reed, and this is Frankie.
And we're here with Ford Aussie Hoops, and we're gonna go have some fun. It's her head.
Wow. Is that
already not proportionate.
And
so
round.
Sorry. Oh, I'd give you an extra finger. I'm so sorry.
Point guard things.
Look, I've set the bar low. Don't even stress. Middle part, she's nailed it.
She's killing.
You coming in with the gold eye color?
You're doing good.
Yeah, it's all right. Big, pretty blue eyes. It's going through the legs.
She knows me.
Like, signature it up right next to me, because we're the ones who did that.
I really like my hair, Sammy. The little love part. There we go.
There it is.
Yep.
Boom.
That's me.
I shoot like a girl.
Jane Melbourne. Late shot on the buzzer is good. Sammy Whitcomb.
I block like a girl.
And the block came from George. Sharp over the top with a denial.
I rebound like a girl.
Gilman again on the old glass.
That rattles out.
There's Mailey, the two. Average 20 points a game.
I move like a girl.
Kayla George fires back.
And that's what makes us great.
Grab your glitter.
It's Mardi Gras.
And get ready to get down.
What % of the 100 have woken up after a party not knowing where they are? We're so different. Sophie's lying to herself at 4%.
The 100 has never been this outrageous.
On the dance floor, 26% of Australians have done what?
Tuesday after Married on 9 and 9 now. The world's greatest chef is back down under. Gordon Ramsay
Welcome to Food Stars Australia.
is searching for Australia's next
It's a hangover relief beverage. We make a sauce called the bed.
Say that again.
big food idea.
Go Team Janine, come on.
A new nationwide blockbuster.
Come together as a team.
Yes.
Please.
Gordon Ramsay's Food Stars. Soon on 9 and 9 now.
Women are powering forward and changing the game on and off the court. Together, Basketball Australia and the Australian Sports Commission are powering women in basketball. We are amplifying the voices, skills and spirit of women in the game. From the backboards to the boardrooms, we're breaking barriers, shattering stereotypes and empowering the next generation of female athletes and leaders. Get involved and together we can create a future where every girl's hoop dreams are within reach.
Welcome back to Parkville. It is half-time in this last round Cygnett WNBL clash between Southside and Adelaide. Southside in front by a point. As we nearly get the second half underway, Jess Webster and Mark Alabakov with you. Mark, it wasn't the prettiest game of basketball in that first half. Southside will be happy that even though they haven't played their best basketball, they're still in front by a point. And I guess for Adelaide, they'll be pleased to keep the Flyers to 29 points and a half when they average 80 a game. And the likes of Izzy Bola hasn't hit the scoreboard yet, so still plenty of room for improvement for both teams heading into the second half.
Yeah, spot on. And if we zoom into that last point around Bola, so she averages the 15.5 points.
Certainly has been leading the way for Adelaide at the moment on a 3-game winning streak. And a win tonight will make it 4 in a row and really give themselves something positive to work towards for next season. As for Southside, as we mentioned, the minor premiership is on the line, so they need a big second half if they are to come away with top spot. There is Lauren Jackson and Mercedes Russell on screen, and no doubt they'll want a big second half from all of their players across the park. What do you think the key messages would have been at half-time in the Flyers camp?
Well, I think if you're Coach Cheryl Chambers, you've got to make the decision of whether you're going to pursue the offensive glass, with multiple people trying to rebound it and keep it alive. They've only got the 2 real team rebounders on the offensive end. It's been Beck Cole and Nards Potch who've got an offensive rebound. So the bigs in Lauren Jackson and Mercedes Russell haven't been a factor with their size and presence in the interior.
So we're underway in the second half. Immediately Beck Cole into the action. She's hunting down her 3,000th WNBL point. Just 1 away now. Extends the Flyers' lead to 3 points. Adelaide have led the majority of the first half. As Willoughby offloading to Borlase, who, as we've mentioned, hasn't hit the scoreboard until now.
And then she does. Yeah, I mean, anytime that you get Borlase the basketball, she's a driving threat and she's so nimble and changes direction really sharply. You've got to get defense on the move and then get her some space to be able to drive.
Beck Cole kicks it out to Russell. Now to Jackson, who shares it with Rochi. Back to Jackson. Fires for 3. It's offline. Turner with another rebound. Up to 8.
But I don't mind that. You have Russell in there contesting the rebounding opportunity there. So she's bound to get to 1. She's got some great length about her.
Sees part for Borlase. It's her second bucket in a row.
I mean, there's an example, right? The defense was all moving, and then you had all of the Flyers defenders occupied when Borlase went to the dribble. Now, contrary to the first half, every time the ball got to Borlase, the ball was passed to her, and it was almost like the Lightning players were like, go on, like, do your thing, we believe in you. But, when all of the teammates are stationary, all of their defenders can go and shrink all of the space around the key and make life really hard for Borlase.
Russell with the finish.
So she'll be most dangerous, Borlase, if you move the defense and then you create some space for her to be able to dribble, penetrate, occupy these Southside defenders.
Here's Brazel for 3, knocks it down.
We call her the 3-and-D player, so she's usually given defensive jobs for perimeter players or elite perimeter players on opposition teams. You see her on Leilani Mitchell at the moment. But then she's got 3-point shooting capabilities, and she can get hot from the perimeter.
Good defense from Bourne, then coughs it up at the other end. So
foul called on Mercedes Russell, going to contest that. But if you're Coach Cheryl Chambers, you like that she's going and trying to put pressure on the basketball. That, as an act, is playing to win. And anything that you come up with there, if you can deflect the ball, it gives you an opportunity in transition the other way.
Bourne fires for 3. Wobbles out. Russell again. Brings it down for another rebound. Lightning up by 2. Cole. Southside ball. What a star she's been, as you've mentioned, Mark, throughout the call. Lucky to have her in this competition. Here's Russell off to Jackson. Speaking about players lucky to have in our competition. Greatest of all time. On cue.
And she does an exceptional job with that turnaround jump shot. We've seen it in her prime. We're seeing it in the twilight of her career now. With the high release point of her jump shot, a la Carly Ernst, we talked about her fadeaway shot. No defenders can get a hand up high enough to challenge it.
Rochi making a move. Can't make it count. Turner with the rebound. Borlase streaming down the other end. Goes herself. Can't get the finish.
But see, where all of the Lightning teammates pull up at the free throw line extended, all of the Flyers defenders of those matchups just stay in the road.
Mitchell way offline. Adelaide ball.
And the impact is that Izzy Borlase can't get the same head of steam up that she had to get the ball over halfway and into the 3-point line. She's got to pull up stumps and change direction multiple times, trying to find a little bit of space to get to the hoop. So for the Lightning, you want to run your wings all the way to the corner and give her some space to be able to operate like this.
Talbot to Borlase, can't get it to go. But the thinking's there, you just need to execute. Rochi looking for Jackson, gets the contact.
This is better play execution from the Flyers, to being able to use the corner player as a post feeder. So I believe it was Maddie Rochi that you had in the corner. Her defender was trying to shrink space, sitting on top of Lauren Jackson. So if you throw to that corner player in Rochi, she has to be defended, and then it allows you a dump over the top, and you've got one-on-one at the basket in Lauren Jackson's hands.
Jackson off to Mitchell. Shots missing. Scores level. 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Borlase making a move. Now she's feeling it.
And she's got space to operate. So 2 great plays in a row gets her into the ball game. Now you've got the lead. You've gotten her involved. So she's going to be up and about and be a threat on the offensive end from here on out.
So we've spoken about Southside having a couple of gears to go, but so too Adelaide.
Yeah, they do. And, you know, they've been able to create their opportunities or their advantages early on in situations like this where they stream ahead of the basketball, and then you get plays like this one here.
Great team play.
But the question marks were around, could they create those same time and space advantages in the half court, and in the past 2 possessions they've shown that they can.
Once again throwing down the challenge to the Flyers. Up by 4, the Lightning. Cole working on Willoughby, denied by Turner, but she fouled.
If we go back, if we were to have a look at that on a replay, you would have seen 4 other Flyers offensive players outside of the keyways. This goes back to what helped the Lightning gain most of their advantage, because there's an uncontested rebound if there's not a Flyers player coming in on that weak side of the floor to try and keep the basketball alive. So it's a whole lot of pressure for Beck Cole to have to make that basket. Otherwise, inevitably, the ball's going to come out at a rate of knots in the hands of a Lightning player, and then all of the Flyers defenders will be stuck in the middle. They're not contesting the rebound, and they're not all the way back in defense. That's absolutely where you don't want to be.
Beck Cole, the 31-year-old Southside star, with her 2 free throws, has become 39th player in WNBL history to surpass 3,000 points. Congratulations to Beck Cole. The milestones keep coming.
One of the best in the history of the Cygnett WNBL, Beck Cole.
As Turner responds at the other end. This game just going up a couple of notches in the last couple of minutes. The intensity's lifting. Cole feeding Ernst. It's missing and Talbot mops it up. Fast break down the other end. Straight into the hands of Dickey.
Now here's where you've got to run ahead if you're a Flyers player. No one ahead of Maddie Rochi. She's got to throw the ball back out behind her, and now everybody's defended. So you get a contested jump shot from Jazz Dickey. It's not the highest quality shot that you could have gotten in that possession, just with a little change of mentality and a few more seconds of striding ahead of the player that's guarding you. So some opportunities going begging for the Flyers, where if they can switch that part of their game on, there's a real opportunity for them to run out to a little bit of a lead in this.
Oh, the no-look pass didn't quite come off. Rochi trying to make them pay at the other end. Turner with the block. It'll remain a Southside ball.
And 2 defenders for the Adelaide Lightning on the right-hand side of Maddie Rochi's body. A really great idea would have been to take that ball to the far side of the hoop where there was nobody and shoot a right-handed reverse layup. So have a look here. She uses a Euro step. If she had have continued through onto that left-handed side, she would have had a reverse layup with some airspace to get the ball up.
4 points the margin the way of Adelaide. Mansfield goes for 3. Can't get it to go. That's off Dickey, so it'll be a Lightning ball.
And one of the things that, if you're Coach Cheryl Chambers, that you bring Jazz Dickey into the game for are these effort-based possession plays. So she goes and makes a contest of everything. She's one athlete for the Flyers who never stops working.
3 attempt is no good. Southside ball. Bet Cole leading the way with 13 points for the Flyers. Mitchell with 9. For Adelaide, Turner, 14 points, 9 rebounds. 7 points to Steph Talbot.
It's a foul call on the play on Lauren Mansfield, just looking to try to impede the run of Maddie Rocci. So it gives her a little bump. Happened illegally because it was side-on contact. So the Flyers will have the ball from the baseline here.
Hodge into the action, but it's a turnover. Bola takes it down the other end to Mansfield. It was born, in fact, to Mansfield, who's now driving. Off the board, no good. Rocci cleans it up for the Flyers. Down by 4, 3.5 to play in the third. It's been a tight contest all match. Dickey through the hands of Ernst, who was fouled.
Got held, I believe, by Willoughby in that particular possession, but probably got out of jail on that call because I think there was a real opportunity there for Carly Ernst to go and set a great screen, which would have found time and space for the ball handler, but she didn't make contact with the defender. It's so important that it's referred to often by coaches, as headhunting, but going to try to find the body of the defender because you're wanting to dislodge them from the ball handler with the basketball, and then that is what creates the 2-on-1 if the screener can then keep the defender on their back.
Willoughby with ball in hand, off to Mansfield. Willoughby gets it back now, shares it with Borlase. Bourne to finish off the team play, gets a second chance and gets the call as well.
The beneficiary of just going after that rebound. So it looked like the Southside Flyers, I mentioned earlier in the first half, a tactic out of free throws rather, was to come back into a 2-3 zone. And one of the benefits of that is that you have all defenders around the key area. One of the downsides to that, there's pros and cons to everything, is it doesn't give you a distinct person to have to box out in a rebounding contest. So inevitably, you're either having multiple people go and box out the same person and leaving someone free, or players will be accustomed to turning and watching the basketball as they did in that play. Bourne with a reaction time goes after it, gets herself a rebound and gets on the free throw line.
0 from 2 from her free throws.
It's hard to say, isn't it?
It can be if you're not concentrating. Here's Cole to Rocci. Lightning still up by 4. Cole pulls the trigger on the 3. And good hustle shown by Brown, who's into the action for the Flyers. It's Adelaide take it down the other end.
And just like that, in a matter of seconds, kicking the basketball ahead. We talked about the value of the ball being the fastest thing on the court, but you've got to have targets to throw to, and that's the comparison or the juxtaposition of the transition game for the Lightning versus the Flyers. Lightning players will run ahead, they've got targets to throw to so they can maximize those advantages. The Flyers not so much, still looking to open their account on that side of things.
Common errors from both teams at the moment.
Just got to remember to take the basketball with you. Most important thing.
In the right hands at the moment with Mitchell. Settling things down off to Cole. There's Rocci in the corner who pulls the trigger. It's offline. Borlase cleans it up for the Lightning. Wrestled back the lead in this third quarter. 2 minutes to go. Talbot, a couple to beat. And it's a travel. Thought she might have got the contact, but the call goes against her.
Yeah, so you had the Flyers throw a second defender at Talbot as she went to make that move. Now, what that does is it puts you in rotation, so it can speed up the decision-making of the Lightning, and inevitably it did. It forced the error out of Talbot. But the worry that you have, if the ball cleanly comes out, it means that you've got a numbers advantage for the opponent on the weak side of the floor.
Cole fires for 3, can't get it to go. Adelaide ball.
like this mentality from Louise Brown coming in for, she generally plays a small amount of minutes at a time. Sometimes this is the only stint that she'll get for the game, but she comes in and plays hard and competes for rebounds. She's traditionally known as an effort-based rebounder. She's got a nose for the ball. If she can get you a couple of extra possessions within her minutes, then she's been able to contribute.
We'll be looking for Talbot. This time gets the call. A minute and a half to go here in this third quarter. A good one from the Lightning. They led by 4 at quarter time. We're down by a point at half time. So far in control at the moment on the scoreboard.
Very low scoring for almost 3/4 time for both teams to be under that 50-point mark. It gives you a picture of just some of the pressure that's happening out there, but then also how important it is to have a well-rounded approach on the offensive end and try to create offense from your defense as well as being able to execute when you're in the half court.
These two sides won a piece throughout the season. Adelaide beat Southside in round 3. Southside turned the tables in round 9 over in Adelaide. Bit on the line tonight for the Flyers. Travel court against Bolas.
And with the quarter that she's had, Bolas in the quarter alone has 8 points. You can see the urgency of shot blocking Mercedes Russell to get her hips down and be ready to contain any dribble penetration and contest something from Bolas.
Lauren Jackson, trademark.
But most importantly, you've got Nance Potch going into the rebounding contest on the weak side of the floor. So this is a good adjustment from the Flyers, ready to support shots with effort.
Bourne drains the 3.
If you get a quick shot, you can have 2 possessions to finish the quarter if you're the Flyers. Which you probably want. You want to eat into this margin as quickly as you can. Give yourself some confidence going into the 3/4 time break.
Cole with ball in hand, working hard, feeds Potch, gets the finish.
Beautiful. And when you hang around the basket, good things happen. So Potch being at the rim is a target. Anytime her player leaves her, you can throw to her and she can make a layup.
Bourne from the top of the arc. A second triple in a row.
That one hurts. I was just about to say a long contested shot would have been a great result for the Flyers. But they still want to execute well here and get themselves a clean look at the basket.
Seconds tick down. Mitchell fires. Can't get it to go. And that marks 3/4 time here at Parkville. We have a contest on our hands. It is Adelaide at 3/4 time. 49 leading the Southside Flyers 41. After they trailed by a point at half-time, the Lightning now lead by 8 as we turn for home. Southside trying to clinch the minor premiership in the Cygnett WNBL season. The Lightning trying to win 4 in a row to end their season on a high. Jess Webster and Mark Alabakov with you, and we are going to take a short break and be back with the final quarter next. Three-quarter time at Parkville. It is Adelaide leading the Southside Flyers by 8 points. As we take a look at some of the stats to this point of the match, Jess Wester and Mark Alabakov with you. What do you think of the game so far?
The Lightning just finished that third quarter like a house on fire. So they win the quarter 21-12, off the back of purely their identity. They've got the 24 points in the paint. They're looking to push the ball in transition, and those targets when they run ahead, that's been the biggest catalyst. So they've got the 21 points when you combine points off turnovers and fast break points, but they've been able to get Borlase into the game, and that adds that next scoring threat. So they've got the 6 scorers on the lineup, or within their lineup rather, so far. you've got the leading scorer being Brianna Turner with the 14 points and the 10 rebounds that she's been able to deliver. But then, when you've got the gravity around her and Borlase and Talbot, Izzy Bourne hits back-to-back threes right down the clutch.
Underway in the final quarter, Lightning up by 8. Who wins it from here, Mark?
Look, the Flyers have enough class to be able to do so, but they're being outworked by the Lightning. They've got to go up a level with their effort and their intent to try to win. And to me, I call it taking the easy way out anytime that you're looking to play not to lose, getting numbers back. That hasn't been profitable for you. I think they've got to battle for everything on the offensive glass, try and push in transition. And they're the types of plays that are going to eat into the margin.
Turner gets us underway in the fourth quarter with her 16th point and 10 rebounds as well. Double-double for her.
Because getting numbers back in transition or attempting to, that hasn't been a fruitful plan. So you've got to go to something else. You've got to be able to pivot if you're going to be a championship caliber team like the Flyers are.
Russell for 2, can't get it to go. Willoughby cleans things up for the Lightning. Their lead is 10 points. Here's Turner. Looking for Borlase, running the baseline.
That is a beautiful pass and a great back cut. So now the gravity that Borlase has as a scorer, she gets top locked by that defender. That means her defender sits above her, not allowing her to get a handoff. And then it opens up a lane to the basket because the defender's not impeding her being able to cut to the rim.
So Adelaide with the first 4 points of this final quarter.
If you're the Lightning, you don't want to take the foot off the pedal. All of the things that are effort-based, you need to keep those flowing alive. And if you're Coach Nat Hurst, you're probably talking about the preparation for a more aggressive style of defense that you're going to find. And these types of counters to stay in the offense, or counters like the back cut that Borlase had, that are going to be opportunities where you turn the Flyers' aggression back against them.
Mitchell looking for Jackson. He's left it behind. Now battling with Turner. Jump ball.
One thing you want to do if you're the Flyers, to the contrary, you've got to shelve any of the emotion around what this result represents or the lead-in that it creates for you going into finals. It's obviously not ideal should they lose this ball game, but you've got to continue to try and keep your foot on the gas pedal, play to win, and not play not to lose or wait for referees to bail you out.
Heading to a timeout here in this final quarter. And this timeout is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, proudly supporting community basketball in Australia. Big last quarter to come. Adelaide have come out immediately, set the challenge down for the Flyers early with 4 unanswered points. Their lead is 12 and they're looking in a good position at the moment, Mark.
They are, and Coach Cheryl Chambers will have taken this timeout to give a little bit of a rallying cry to the Southside Flyers. This is an important game for them, not only to be able to wear the crown of the season and be minor premiers, but it could mean that should the Townsville Fire take top spot and win themselves through to the final, and whoever has to play them would have to play 2 games up north. And that's a tough place to have to play a game of basketball and win a grand final series. So the Flyers want to create that advantage for themselves by getting that top spot, but they need to get moving here with 8 minutes and 5 seconds to go. We see them down 12, and they've got enough scoring that they can score in a hurry, but they've got to be able to bring their work rate up to match the skill level that they have.
It's been an exciting final round to say the least so far. Southside beat Townsville by 7 on Wednesday night. Melbourne, of course, earlier today by a point over UC at the Deaf. And here we are, we've got a big finish coming up. Jackson has turned it over, a chance for Adelaide to capitalise through Borlase. Draws the foul.
Now, one of the things that, if you're Coach Nat Hurst, you're going to talk about obviously looking to push the basketball as much as you can. That's been not only the Lightning's identity, but we look at the lineup, and for the advantages that playing 2 bigs, the likes of Jackson and the likes of Mercedes Russell, both of which are 6'4", 6'5" apiece, you don't have the foot speed to keep up with a fast-moving Lightning. And it looks like Coach Cheryl Chambers has made that adjustment by putting the shorter, quicker, and probably more athletic Jasmine Dickey on the floor, but she brings the same level of rebounding that you could have gotten out of Lauren Jackson. Just gives you a more mobile player to be able to do that. So there's a counter move by a storied coach in our competition.
1 from 2 from Borlase. Their lead is 13. As Rochi puts on the Jets, gives it back to Dickey and gives it to Poch. And now shares it with Russell. Has Turner for company. Off the glass.
I like it, just what they needed. And you had Beck Cole cutting to the basket in the vacuum of space that she left. You had Mercedes Russell driving to the basket.
Talbot in the corner, pulls the trigger. It's offline. Hodge brings in the rebound. Straight off to Rochi. Streaming down the floor, gives it to Cole. And she drains it.
8-point ball game.
Game on at Parkville.
But this is what we've been asking for, right? Running ahead of your matchup, giving the ball handler a target to throw to, kick the ball ahead to Beck Cole. She's got time and space to pull the trigger from the three. Her three-point shooting percentages have increased in her past 5 seasons within the WNBL. That's a great play by the Flyers.
Timeout with 7 minutes, 17 left on the clock. 8-point ball game, and this timeout is brought to you by the WNBL. Don't forget the Cygnett WNBL Night of Nights is being held tomorrow night at Ridges in Melbourne. Make sure you're following the WNBL socials to find out all of the winners. Can't wait for that tomorrow night, Mark.
Yeah, I'll be there.
As will I. Looking forward to it. Who's your big tip?
Well, I could give you a big tip, but because I'm on the awards committee, that wouldn't be fair. I couldn't even tell you who I voted for. I just hope everybody has fun and, you know, everybody deserves recognition on the night.
You passed the test.
How's that?
I was waiting for it. You were very quick on it. I knew you were going to give me that.
Play a straight bat.
No, it certainly is going to be a very exciting evening. So make sure you're tuned to the WNBL socials to find out all of our winners tomorrow night. And meanwhile, we have a game on our hands here at Parkville.
Now here's what I'm looking for. So Coach Cheryl Chambers came out in a 2-3 zone. It's probably the main change up defensively, which it looks like she's staying in with the Flyers. If you're Coach Nat Hurst, out of that timeout, you not only want to stem the bleeding offensively, which a layup here doesn't help you, but you get an opportunity to talk about how you want to deal with the 2-3 zone change up from the Flyers. So it'll be interesting to see if that message got through.
The Flyers are rising. Can Adelaide absorb the pressure? Cut the margin down to 6. 6 minutes left. Willoughby, that is a big triple.
Big triple indeed. You wouldn't be too worried if you were the Flyers, because out of all of the options for someone shooting that 3-point shot, Willoughby's been less consistent with that compared to the dribble penetration that's usually her thing.
Poch can't convert. And Adelaide have turned it over.
But I like the idea, you know, you could see something good was going to happen. You had targets ahead, Talbot trying to push the ball ahead. Any time that you can beat the zone down the floor, it's like it doesn't exist. You can get it down, get it to the tip of the rim, and not have to deal with 5 Flyers defenders in the key.
Dickey goes out of play, Southside ball.
One thing that will be interesting is how long does Coach Nat Hurst sit with Lauren Mansfield on the bench? She's a great playmaker, game manager, and 3-point shooter. And that would be a counter move to have her out on the floor when the Flyers are in this 2-3 zone defense.
Turner out to Willoughby. Turner, a little bit of a fumble, keeps it alive. Talbot in the corner. And it's an offensive foul.
So you had Maddie Rochi slide across to get her body in the road of Steph Talbot. So Steph Talbot trying to knock down the shoulder of Nards Poch and get her feet into the key area to get a high percentage shot. Seeing that eventuate, Maddie Rochi helps from that top zone area, gets Talbot essentially between her feet and wears the contact down the sternum. Great defensive play by Rochi.
What I love about the next 5 and a bit minutes of play here is there's so many good players out in the court. There's so many match winners that we could go to. It could be any one of them.
Yeah, and the Flyers have such an offensive weaponry and a scoring punch that can come from multiple areas. So, I mean, we saw them make up 5 or 6 points in a matter of about 30 or 40 seconds earlier. Great back cut.
Cole, can she finish? Yes, she can. They're coming, the Flyers. Down by 7 at 3/4 time. Adelaide came out strongly, led by as much as 12, and they're reeling them in. Turner has other ideas.
Smart for the Lightning to get the ball to a player, Turner in that instance, right in the heart of the zone. It's a great area to be able to score from, but play make from for other people as well.
Rochi steps back for three. Can't get it to go, but great rebound from Dickey, who gets the finish as well.
And this is what we've been asking for 3 quarters. Can the Flyers go to the offensive glass, compete for rebounds? Not only does that stem the tide of the ball coming back the other way, you know, the pace that the Lightning want to play at, but it's going to gift them essentially a layup. You know, a missed shot is always a pass to you, and if your shoulders are facing the hoop, to go up with it there, even if she didn't get fouled and miss the shot, you've got Mercedes Russell lurking with no one guarding her on the other side of the floor. So only good things can happen when you do that.
Completes the N1, margin back to 6. Less than 5 to go. Brazel for Bourne. They kick it back out. Here's Mansfield. Goes for Borlase, who goes for 3.
Beautiful play, you know, and that's why you love having Mansfield on the floor. She turned and pass faked to one side of the floor, moved all of the Flyers defenders away from Borlase, and then threw it to her.
Dickey with the finish. As it rolled in.
This game's going to another gear.
They're trading blows at the moment. Here's Turner. All the way across to Brazel. Gives it to Mansfield. To Bourne. Comes up short.
I feel like a big enough advantage to shoot the corner 3 was created there from Mansfield. You want her to be aggressive. She's a great passer of the basketball, but it's important for her to stay aggressive and a threat on the offensive end. And there's no better 3-point shot than the corner 3-point shot because it's the shortest distance. So if you have a look at the way that the 3-point line is, if it continued on its curve all the way around to the corner, it would reach the corner of the court. Inevitably, it takes a break and creates a straight line. So it's a shorter distance, highest percentage.
Here is Bourne from the corner. And as you called it, Mark, that's where you want to hit them from.
I'm glad she must have heard me.
Just like that, the Lightning are back out to 10 points. Poch down the other end. Is offline. Another rebound to Turner. 3.5 to play. Flyers down by 10. They're chasing the minor premiership. The Lightning holding firm at the moment as Turner adds 2 more.
Dragged the 2 defenders with her, Brazel, and then used her pivot to create a passing angle, and there was a vacant alley through the middle of the keyway. Alert cutting to the basket from Turner and staying a threat going to the basket earns them back out to a double-digit lead.
So it was Adelaide by 4 at quarter time, Southside by 1 point at half time. Adelaide turned the tables again to lead by 8. They led by as much as 12 earlier in the quarter. Southside clawed back to within 6 and now back out to 12 again. So plenty of momentum shifts. Turner up to 20 points now for the Lightning. She's been superb tonight alongside 13 rebounds as well. Borlase 14 after being scoreless at halftime. Bourne up to 14. And for Southside, Cole is up to 20 earlier tonight, surpassed 3,000 career points. Mitchell chipping in with 9 points, Russell with 8 as well, but it really has been Cole setting the scene from an offensive point of view.
Yeah, and she hit that kick-ahead 3-point shot. So when she was running ahead and being a target, she gets on the board with that kick-ahead 3. You get Jazz Dickey with the offensive rebound and put back. You get her on the cut to the basket straight after. So the things that you want that are going to eat into this margin you're getting, you just need to be more aggressive in contesting actions at the rim if you're the Flyers. And that's one of the things, you know, from a mentality standpoint, when you're in a 2-3 zone, it can make you very passive. So that drive to the basket by Taylor Brazel just before the timeout and then pass to Turner going to the hoop. She had a layup. Mercedes Russell could have contested it or blocked the shot or tried to wall up near the rim, but she pulled out of the contest. You want her to go, and you know, even if she was to foul, the Flyers aren't in any foul trouble. You don't want to gift the Lightning any more easy baskets.
3 minutes to go, 12 points the difference. If you're in the Southside camp, what is the #1 focus?
Well, I mean, the pace of play, but it's got to come off the back of your defense like this.
Rochi steals it away, gives it to Cole, comes up short. Mansfield with the rebound. The fast break, Turner with ball in hand, backtracks, gives it to Mansfield. And now to Talbot, looking inside for Turner. 2.5 to play. Wonderful pass to Mansfield, who finishes.
Caught the defender napping. Anytime that your defender has turned and is watching the ball, that's a great time to cut to the basket, especially if you can do it behind the defender, because they'll lose all vision.
A new game high, 14-point lead to Adelaide. What has Southside got left? That'll help.
But you need to be aggressive. You need to speed up this game and create more possessions, so you can't come back and play soft pressure defensively and just aim to try to stay in front of the Adelaide players. There's not enough time to be able to deploy that type of defensive tactic and have the ball and possession enough to get back into this one.
Rochi got a hand in there to break it up, but Turner wins it back. Gives it to Bourne, back to Turner, gets around Russell, wide open for the three. Can't get it to go.
But a couple of good things in that possession. You had a few deflections, people trying to get their hands to the basketball. The most disruptive thing you can do is get fingertips to the ball.
11 points the difference, 1.5 minutes left. They got to get going, the Flyers. Rochi off to Poch. And that is a foul.
And that's a circumstance where you just want awareness, you want an urgency from the Flyers, because there's not enough possessions left in the ball game. There's not always the time to stop and organise a Horns offense, when you're down double digits. And then with all the defenders, all the offensive teammates stationary, it allows all of their players to be alert to the next thing that's coming. And if it's a solo one-on-one drive, it ends up on 1-on-3 like it did in that possession. And Poch has to spin to try to create advantage and spins right into the defender, unfortunately for her.
Here's Mansfield for the Lightning. To Turner to Borlase. And gets the call.
But that's okay. I mean, that's what you want from Rochi, containing the ball handler, but trying to get a hand to the ball as she's gathering it to shoot it. The interesting thing, a counter move here from Coach Cheryl Chambers is she's cleared out the bench. So you've got Clara Wisher on the floor, you've got Dallas Luffridge on the floor, both of which haven't featured in this game so far. So it looks like she might be conceding this result and just looking to rest her star players, or the ones that get the most minutes within the rotation, for the final series next week.
What a final series it's going to be. After another competitive WNBL season, as Borlase at the line gets it done. And we're back out to a 13-point lead. A strong finish to the season from the Lightning is Rochi for 2. Wobbles out. Good rebound from Dickey.
And that's what you want from her. She's delivered in her minutes with possession play and 2 putbacks now.
Final minute here of this contest at Parkville. Adelaide also making the changes as Basham comes into the action. Here's Mansfield. That's offline, but Mansfield gets it back. Final 30 seconds. The shot from the corner is good. It's Tonks who's come into the action.
And she had a game earlier this season where I think she hit 4 or 5 from 5. So unexpected, but huge win by the Adelaide Lightning. And I mentioned last week when I was calling their game that their last 2 games were against quality opponents. They could treat it as their semi-final and grand final. If that was the test, they've passed it with flying colours in both instances.
Adelaide finished their season with a bang. They've won their last 4. Take down the ladder-leading Flyers by 14 points at Parkville. And Southside now will have to wait on the result of tomorrow's game between Townsville and Sydney. They need the Fire to lose if they are to finish in top spot, but a well-deserved victory to the Adelaide Lightning, Mark Alabakov, and a great, as we've mentioned, a great end to their season. They'll be really pleased with some of the basketball they've played in the last few weeks.
Yeah, they've played these last few rounds to win. Obviously, injection of Talbot into the lineup certainly helps, not only from what she can produce, and tonight in particular, she gives you the 7 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists, but a heck of a game by Turner across the board. Was an outstanding player at the half, but finishes with the 20 points and 13 rebounds, 4 assists, not a single turnover, and playing at the level that we had seen in a prior stint with the Lightning. I mentioned that she was second in MVP voting in that particular season, so coming good at the right time of the year, definitely playing better with Talbot in the lineup, but as is everybody. Their level of competitiveness and intent and purpose has gone up a notch. Unfortunately for Coach Nat Hurst and the Lightning organisation, with the injury, the long-term injury to Talbot, that was all too little too late, but it certainly shows you promising signs for future seasons.
Plenty for Southside to contemplate at the moment. Mark, I guess from their perspective, how worrying is this result on the
watching that game tomorrow with intent.
So a great end to Adelaide's season. Southside are nervous. Wait tomorrow on the eve of finals. These are the games to come. 2 more left in the round. Coming up next tonight, it is Bendigo and Perth. What a contest.